Good evening. The Red Bank Historic Preservation Commission will hold a regular meeting on Wednesday, May 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. at 90 Monmouth Street, Red Bank, New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting has been posted at Borough Hall, filed with the Borough Clerk, and provided to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times. The Commission has maintained a policy cutoff hour of 8:30 p.m. for its hearings. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Roll call.
Louis Almarini,
Present.
Marjorie Cavalier, absent. Liam Collins,
Present.
Paul Cagno, Karen Smelskoff, Anthony Sotero, absent. Michael White, absent. Matthew Cummings
Present.
and Betsy Valera.
Present.
Thank you. The minutes of the meeting of April 15th were distributed in advance with the materials to the members. Do I have a motion to approve them? Thank you. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, report from the Minor Works Review Committee.
The Minor Works Committee was not able to meet until notice as per recommendation by our board attorney. And so during this break, we have decided to meet every second and fourth Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Virtually on Zoom. The meeting was noticed and sent to the paper and is posted on our website. The notice is posted on the borough's website. So going forward, those are the dates that we will be meeting. If there's no meeting or no applications, then the meeting is just canceled, but without any notice. But it's advertised and it will be held via Zoom. We will not be accepting public comment, but it's just a discussion and approval of the applications.
Thank you, Shauna. River Center Liaison. I believe Anthony is not here to report. Okay, skip that. Historic Sites Designation. I'm not sure the group did anything. Anything to report? Yes.
Watching them online.
Yes.
And I could not figure out, is there a new membership for the historic sites or are they the old members continuing?
So you're asking whether or not they're if it's the same committee that's on the historic sites designation and the CLG designation? No. So another committee was then formed 2 weeks ago, I guess. No, two meetings ago.
2 meetings ago.
Yes.
Okay. And I think the same for the CLG designation committee. Nothing to report.
I think Liam has.
Oh, Liam? Yeah.
So I think Christina and Shauna presented the list to the council for their first review. So I don't, maybe Shauna, you'd be better to give an update on what happened in that meeting.
So at the last council meeting, which was last week, the ordinance was introduced to amend the existing zoning ordinance, which the historic preservation ordinance is included in, to include the sites that are designated on the national registry and on the state registry. So that's up for first reading. And then at the next, the process is that at the next planning board meeting, which would be June 10th, I believe, it will be reviewed for master plan consistency, the ordinance, because it's amending the zoning ordinance. And then it'll be at the next council meeting after the 10th. I'm not sure what meeting that is. It would be the 11th because it's always preceding a planning board meeting is a council meeting. So at the 11th, at the June 11th council meeting, that's when it's the second reading and adoption of the ordinance. So that's the process.
Okay. Thank you. Liam, anything to add to that? Is your microphone on?
Oh, sorry. So that we need to certify the resumes of everyone and also to make sure that everyone's done 5 hours of training by the application time, which is next March.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, if there's nothing else to report, there is nothing on the agenda for old business, so we can go straight to new business. And the first item on the agenda, which is Monmouth Boat Club, also known as 31 Union Street. Andy and team?
You can use the handheld mic right there. You don't have to stand.
Yeah.
First slide up if you want. I can start while you forward with that. First of all, I want to thank the commission for the support over 3 years and us finally getting this project underway. You wrote letters every year and you've always been supportive, and that very much helped us getting the grant this year and getting the project going. And we really appreciate that. We were never dinged on having local support. That was one of the strong points. We had other issues with the application over 2 years, but and the competitive nature of that thing is pretty insane too. But we had other issues, and we overcame them, but we always had support, and that meant a lot. So we really appreciate that. Just introductions. Charles Chichester is our engineer from Mills and Shoring. We'll talk a little bit about them. He'll be doing most of the presentation after I do the introduction. Brian Bugby is our Vice Commodore. Bob Kent, member of the committee and our expert sort of on local matters. He served a bunch of places, and my wife Jeannie came with me just because I promised her dinner. So we're just going to go through very quickly. I'm going to go through very quickly the first couple of slides, the scope overview, project recap, and then Charles is going to take over, and as many details as you want to get into on the project, we're prepared to do. And obviously, if you have questions afterwards, we're happy to do that too. So next slide, I guess. It's simple. We're going to take a 140-year-old building, going to move it 50 feet, going to put a foundation and move it back, and we're done. Okay, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal, actually, and the foundation is failing, and we're really essentially we're repairing the foundation. At its essence, this is a repair job. It's not. We're not trying to do anything to the building. We're not trying to make any changes to the building, except where we have to. You'll see there's some flood vents. There's some things going in there that are part of the National Park Service thing. We have flood vents internally going in. But what we're doing is we move the building back. We replace the bulkhead because that's pretty much at end of life. We install the 60 helical piles, and we put the building back. The first floor dock, I talked a little bit about, we have a dock on the first floor. That dock is going to have to be replaced. The second two decks will stay in place, so there's no restoration there. Then we repair any damage, and we hold a party because we're all done. Next slide. I want to go through these quick because it's a recap. So we started, I don't have the dates here, about 4 years ago. We had a competition. We went out to a bunch of architectural firms, and Mills and Snoring were by far the best response. And I've been a good partner ever since then, to be honest. They've really been a good partner. And we're working with them very closely and their engineering firms to get this done. It's at heart an engineering project, but there's a big architectural component in the historical architects. That's what we had to go for. As soon as Mills and Snoring came on board, we got plans and an estimate created. We have an estimate from a professional estimator that we've been using. It took a long time, but we got CAFRA permits and Army Corps of Engineer approval. We needed both of them to get the job done. And at that point, we got the grant from the state at the end of September of last. The trust has recently approved our plans. The trust, you'll see the letter in there. There's waiting one signature from the State Historical Commission. The trust has a memorandum, it's contained in the letter, has a memorandum of understanding with the folks at the state, and essentially the State Historical Preservation Commission takes the word of the trust, and they do the work, and they just sign it on the basis of this MOU that they've done. So we've just released bids we've qualified vendors and done all these crazy other things. We've just released the construction bids about a week ago, and we had people there this week. Today, we had the vendors there. 3 vendors are met some minimum level of qualification. We're trying to get them to give us more information about how they qualify. All 3 of the vendors, we believe, can do the job. There's some concern about meeting state standards and things, and some of them will meet them, but they need to tell us that. We're having some pulling teeth issues with that. And we're going to start construction in the fall of 26, and the plan is to be back in there for the 27 season. So that's kind of where we're at. We expect bids back at the beginning of June. And with that, I think I'll turn it over to Charles to go through. Next slide, I guess.
Yeah, very good. Excuse me. Yeah, we can go back to the forward one, the photo, the first photo. Where was that? Yeah, that's the second photo. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is the boathouse from the water. And you can see how close to the water it is here. Like Andy had said, it's about a foundation rehabilitation. But going through that process of rebuilding the foundation, it was decided to lift the building some. And there was a lot of back and forth on the lifting. And we settled on 21 inches above of where it is now. That'll bring the first floor out of tidal flooding for the most part, but not out of 100-year floods and things like that. So that's why we've added all the vents on the lower floor, 25 flood vents that are stainless steel, and they will open automatically to let the water in and out when a flood event occurs. But in that lift of 21 inches, our stairs and ramps had to grow some. Not extravagantly, but enough that we wanted to make sure we covered all that, so we still have accessibility to the first floor. We had an option to go a little bit higher, but then the ramping gets much longer and into the property where all the boats and everything else are stored. So we settled on that 21 inches, and we think that's the right choice at this point. But in that lift, like I said, new stairs, some new railings, new ramps, new railings there. The style you can see on this waterfront picture that shows all the railings on the balconies there, that's the style we intend to duplicate on anything we do for our stairs or ramps. It's a very utilitarian design and is worked on constantly. But what's nice about it, it is simple enough that just general DIY and the club members can do that work. It's all wood railing system at this point and painted. For the decking surfaces, we want to use a composite decking for durability. They have some of that now, and we want to replicate that. It's in a gray, doesn't stand out, but should last longer. And one other aspect I'd like to talk about is around the perimeter of the building. Now that if you can go to the next photo, please. You can, maybe the next photo after that. Okay, this is a great photo. This is the main entrance here. You can see that this building sits right on top of the macadam. You know, there's a few steps to get into the front door, but that cedar shingle goes right down to the macadam. So when we lift this up 21 inches, we're going to have a gap between the first floor and the macadam. And that's where we intend to add some louvers. And I think you might have seen those in the drawings. They show up in the elevations and in some details. And that louver system is just open enough to allow water in and out. There's a metal screen. Keep fish from getting under the building and getting trapped during a flooding event. And that system is also built out of a composite material, a PVC trim material, so that will not come apart with all the water. And besides that, around these flood vents and anything that might happen during the move, there's going to be some cedar shingle replacement, and we want to replace in kind. And some lights for our new ramp that will be on the east side. Maybe the next photo. Okay. Yeah, you can see there's some ramping on this side already. This is between the boathouse and the park, going east there. And this is still going to be our side where we're going to do all our ramping and come up on this side. But because of this ramp, we also want to provide some more lighting on this for safety. And I think we gave you a product cut on that light. It's a brass, nautical themed with a hood on it, so it's not shining everywhere else that it doesn't need to. And it'll age in well. So that's our thoughts on the lighting. So that's the, go ahead.
The surface here, the new decking, will that be the composite material?
Yeah, that'll be the composite.
What's there now? Wood?
It's what is that, a pressure treated lumber?
Pressure treated wood.
Yeah.
Probably replace that sand. That ramp.
Okay.
One of the things that gives a lot of confidence is that the building survived sand. You understand why. One of the reasons it did was because we left all the doors open. Just decided to go flood, come out, and don't put pressure on the building. And the building survived without being tied down to the foundation. And now it's tied, like modern sand. In 1890, they laid the building. 1890, 1930 is too bad for the building. That's even as early as the late 1930s, they just laid a building down on foundation and never explored. Build the foundation way up.
I've got the pleasure of being inside the building, and I noticed that a lot of the floors were pretty slanted. So when you put the new foundation, will that straighten up the floors on the upper?
Well, that was a question that came up with the contractors today too. When they lift it up, they have to be very careful that they don't damage the building. I mean, it is somewhat fragile. If the floors get a little bit more level, that would be great. But, in some cases, it's settled that way, and some of the timbers are already compromised in that direction. So if anything, it will get more level. But yeah, it does look like a boat deck.
Part of the character too.
Yeah.
Is there an elevation where we see the new flood vents in the document?
Yeah, there is. If you can go into those drawings.
Just curious, with the additional height at the base, what for the expanse of the new exposed foundation in between the new vents, what will that be? What will be that exterior cladding or material?
Let's see. Oh, you're getting there. Yep. Keep going. Okay, there. Yeah, and if you could maybe zoom in on the bottom right-hand image. Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, go down a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you can see the main entrance here, and on the left and right of that main entrance, you see some piers
Yeah.
and then the louvers, and those piers are going to be parged CMU block.
Parged finish?
Yeah,
Perfect.
yes,
Very traditional. That's great.
yeah. So you could see one at the bottom right-hand corner. You see that just above the floor line? There's a clouded bubble pointing at it. Yeah, right. Oh, you were just on it. Up to the right a little bit. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
right there.
That was
That's
gonna
one
be-
of them. That's
okay,
one of
that
them
was
there.
gonna be my question.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like the flood vents open to the actual first floor.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are those rectangular vents below?
Those are just open to the crawl space.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how many flood vents are there?
25. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's only two pictured, I think.
Well, I think one of them you can't see because it's behind some handrails there, but if you keep going around, you'll start to
Okay.
see them. Some of them are also joining from room to room. So if it comes in, it'll go into the bathroom. So
So you're
no,
not gonna see 25 on the outside of the building?
no,
All right.
no, not all of them, no.
And what's the
No.
size of each flood vent roughly?
I was just looking at that. They're
looks
pretty,
like
they're
it
very
might be a
standard. I think they're about 10 by 12. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There is a cut in the product data I think we sent you to. Yeah.
I just had a question. I noticed the grill vents or the muttons on this photograph, you don't seem to have any, but on the other previous slide, on the other side of the building, you did have the grill vents. So, and originally the building does have grill vents. I'm sorry, not grill vents. I meant the window vents. I mean the window grills. I'm sorry. It's been a long day for me. You seem to be missing the window grills on this slide here. On the other slide, the previous slide, on the other side of the building, the grills, see that? You see the window grills?
Oh.
So I
yeah.
want to just confirm, the original structure has the grills, right? The historical muttons on the
Well, let's go
building.
to the photos there.
20 years ago. We're keeping the windows that were.
Oh, all right. So that's how it looks now. One side has the grills, the other side doesn't? Oh,
We're keeping the windows in place that we have.
yeah. Oh. All right. So the whole building has the grills. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could see.
Yeah,
Yep,
right.
yep, they're there.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I
yeah.
saw them on the building, but then I didn't see them on the drawing. So I was
Yeah.
wondering if you were replacing them. Right. Okay.
Yeah. We do want all the windows and doors to operate after the move, so there will be some touch up.
Is the roof made of cedar shingle as well? I couldn't tell from the picture.
Cedar shingles. I
The,
think that they're put in, typically with the ice boat club, they just replace theirs. And they just put them in very light color, very quickly blend, very quickly age.
I was asking about the roof. Is the roof made of
Roofs stay
sing?
the same. Part of the roof is slate, part of it is shingle to look like slate.
Okay.
So if you look at the roof in front there, closest to us, it's shingle. In the back, there is slate. I think that's slate on the other building there, right? There is some slate and some shingle roof, and none of that's gonna change. That's, again. Just keep it. Contractors, they've even said the painting company. Can do that, but that's the level of slowness they can move the building. Yeah.
What,
People have these hydraulic pneumatic systems these days. I think you don't have to go around and jack each jack. It takes the whole thing up pretty much at once, in my understanding. In the old days, I guess you go each jack up 1 inch, back around to an inch. And if you, at the end of the day, you got a little lazy, maybe try 3 or 4. There's none of that anymore. You don't have to worry about that.
what's the timeline?
We expect to be out of the club at the end of September, back in the club in April. Again, we'll know a lot more when we get the bids in, but we've been told by a couple of vendors that we work with early on, that's very key. Yeah, we could make that timeline, absent any real bad weather stuff. The initial contractor that worked with us gave us less than doing it 6 months. Already.
Will we be able to watch the building get lifted? Can we buy tickets for that?
Very minimum, you put up a GoPro, take a picture every minute. That, but we definitely plan to have something done, and there is some discussion of having some documentary. Maybe be able to maybe make some money off that, just give us a documentary. Not paying. Yeah, that happened. And others.
Do they lift it at one time or do they do it very slowly? I've also heard that over multiple days.
I think a lot of the work goes into sliding steel under the building, so they make almost a crib for it. And then they put the jacks under that crib. And then I think once that's all set, it'll go up, within a day. And then somehow they slide some wheels under it. Yeah.
Inches an hour, but it does
Yeah.
go up, pretty quickly. Yeah, most of the contractors have got these systems with all the jets.
Do you remember when they moved the charter school? The building that became the charter school, it used to be next to the Riverview Hospital. And they moved it down Front Street, down Broad Street. They had to take down all the telephone wires, and it was a big kind of event. I mean, it could be interesting to
Yeah.
build it up into some kind of event for the Red Bank to celebrate.
Asbury Park Press even has done a bunch of stuff on it. It'll help our fund. This is very complicated deal to find. But one get any donation. And we've got a lot now. There is a mortgage involved. First time ever. So all kinds. Again, it's a five level, I think, 5 different tranches of finance.
Any more questions?
Just want to say thank you for all that work and for preserving iconic building in Red Bank.
This commission really helped in getting the thing. Heard from Jennifer Boggs, who our representative of the state, took the vacation. Might have been here, and she's been very cooperative and helpful. And one of the things she told us, getting support from local. They have a sort of local historical regulatory. They have some name. That groups everyone together with their commission. It's very, very clear that helped a lot.
What I'd like to do is formalize our position on it. Do we have a motion to approve the plans as submitted?
On motion.
And do we have a second? Thank you.
Louis Almarini,
Yes.
Leon Collins,
Aye.
Paul Cagno, Karen Smelskoff, Matthew Cummings,
Yes.
and Betsy Valera.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you. And I just want to say, we have a bunch of events this weekend, we have other events, people, anyone, director can come in as guests. Anyone knows how to contact me, if you want to come to our calendar, come on in, happy to have you. And as I said, if you guys could bring the technology over there, if you have it, we have Zoom, but if you need the recording and the microphone, and all that stuff, I'm not sure we. Well, no, we have one big screen, but we do general meetings via Zoom since COVID. But we're happy to have you there. We're happy to have you at any of our events or anytime you want to come home. So just, give us a call. Huh?
Oh,
Oh, that's fine. We might get a couple of new members.
yeah.
One thing I would just be remiss if I didn't say it. I know you have many things logistically in the works, but while I have your ear and as you're talking to contractors, I just want to bring up the borough did recently pass a microplastics ordinance. Since I know you're using Trex, it's very simple. It just requires, especially where you are on the water, just want to mention it because it's a sensitive area. It just requires that that is kind of housed when it's being cut and things like that to reduce the debris, dust.
If somebody could give me the ordinance.
Yep.
I'll put an RFI back out to Ben right now. We're in bed now. Don't change order. We're out to bid and I will.
Sure.
I will tell them that's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's mostly just like tent it while you're cutting. It's very simple, but yeah.
I got it, but if you don't,
Yep.
you'd like to tell people this before you sign the contract.
Absolutely, yep. Make sure.
Happy to do that. Is there any other thing that recent, happy to put that in as well?
Cool.
They have to do it. And I'm sure they're supposed to know it. I mean, there's a general note in there that says the contractor is responsible for knowing all local ordinances, regulations, blah, blah, blah. But something new like that probably.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned.
We're putting out special.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome to stay or leave, whatever you'd like to do. You may want to take a peek at the weather before you make that decision. So in the event it's not good outside, you're welcome to.
Or ask your wife if she's hungry. She probably wants to go.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Thank you. Okay. Moving to the next item of new business, which is 65 Washington Street. Is anyone present?
Unfortunately, the applicant was noticed late about the meeting. So they were not able, I don't think, they were gonna try and make it, but they were not able to make it today. But if we have any comments that I can give them, we have the application. If there's any comments that I can give them, I'm happy to pass it along.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at their application. This is the house. We've looked at this house before. This is one that was in disrepair and it was purchased and completely rehabbed. And they did a fine job on it. Beautiful, they kept the original clapboards and a lot of the original trim. Unfortunately, the slate roof was shot, so they had to replace that with slate line shingles. But and it was then put on the market, sold. So the new owners wish to add a garage, and that's the subject of this topic. Now, I looked at, and I don't know if you looked at what was submitted. And I have some questions and suggestions for that, specific. I mean, what it looks like they want a one-car garage. And it looks like the way they're going there is to get a prefab with a wood floor, the kind you almost ship in and drop. And the roof pitch clearly doesn't match the pitch of the current house. and the siding doesn't match the current house. And you know, my comments to them would be that it would be preferable if the appearance of it were consistent with the current home, particularly the roof pitch and the siding. And also, another suggestion I would make to them, and this is based on my own situation. I actually was in a similar situation when I bought my home in Red Bank. It did not have a garage, and I sought to have one built. And I ended up having one built at a price that's less than this is going to cost them, although it was 12 years ago. So it'd be double that now, but still, it's in the range of this. And it was built as a pole barn. You can't tell from the street, but it's basically a one-car garage with 6 pilings. They're sunk 3 feet down in cement, and the whole garage is hung off that. And you know, the price they were quoted now for this shed with a wood floor, garage size, is about 17,000. And mine cost less than that 12 years ago. I believe even if you double the price, it's still only a little bit more than this. So my I would be pleased to talk to them.
Would you recommend that they maybe attend the minor works committee meeting next week?
I mean, I think it's personally and it's like it's a new construction
Yeah.
or an addition to accessory structure. So I think the whole board should hear. I think they should come back.
You know, it's just like to talk to them, talk it through with them, or
You can
Instead
let
of,
them
like,
know that
waiting
we
till-
have some reservations about what they submitted, and we have some suggestions that at the end of the day, we don't think will add a lot to the cost. Now, I'm hoping they didn't, you know, this isn't one of those cases where they already committed to, because I saw the paperwork, it said their order was placed in March. So, you know,
Isn't there an ordinance where if you take down an old garage that you can't put up a new garage?
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to have to go to zoning, but, you know, our guidelines do address accessory structures. And I think, I don't know if they have a copy of the guidelines or not, but it's on page 78 and 79 of our guidelines. So I agree. The roof drew my attention. The materials drew my attention, and the location, quite frankly, looks like, you know, according to our guidelines, if it's not going to match the house or be have any defining characteristics in a historical nature, then we don't really want to see too much of it from the street. So there is an issue to me with the roof, with the materials, and the location.
and by the way, when you do a pole barn construction, you can then have a concrete floor for it.
Yeah.
So if you came over my garage, I opened the door, you walk in it, I will have to tell you that it's a pole barn in order for you to figure that out. It
Yeah.
looks that conventional.
so
Yeah.
And it was, at the time, it was half the price of the masonry foundation. If you're building a 1 or 2 car garage, a proper masonry foundation, if that's what you're doing, is half the cost.
So in my email correspondence to them, they responded that we plan on making the garage the same color as the house with a black door or accents. You said it's a simple garage shed that will be painted to match the house. The architecture is similar to that of the rendering from the lap structure that they've provided. They are a large company that supplies mostly prefab and standalone structures. They do a nice job matching the house. Further, we'll make it nice with shrubbery and gardening around it, following all setbacks. So, yeah, that was my.
Will it go in the same location the old garage is in?
They're going to have to get a variance shown. It looks like it's on the property line.
They're going to be.
Was there ever a garage?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
yes,
a
there
garage back there originally. They
Yeah.
tore it down.
Yeah, they tore it down.
Do we have pictures of the old garage?
No, but I could ask them to do it.
All right.
They did state that they will be following, the 8-foot side yard requirement and rear yard requirement.
So
I
no
don't think
zoning.
Any of these are to scale. The rendering that they
I mean,
provided.
if I could only change one thing and what they've asked for, I'd change the roof pitch. to match the house.
And is the roof color shingles the same? Are they putting the same, the roof should match.
Yeah.
And the siding should match.
And by the way, I'm pretty sure the house was the original clapboards and they painted them. I personally would be okay with hardy plank that matched the exposed, if, I don't know what they have,
Siding?
the siding.
Oh,
That's
for
what
the
I'm
garage.
For the garage.
Okay.
So if I'm not saying they have to, if the house has original wood siding, they don't have to do exactly matching siding on the garage, but it should be at a glance, if you look at it, it should look like the house siding.
A copy of the guidelines? Or we can email them? It's page 78.
And I used a local contractor that actually does a lot of business out west Monmouth County. They actually build pole barns on farms, et cetera, et cetera. So this was a small job for them, but they're still in business and I'd be glad to recommend that. Having said that, the contractor they picked is a good contractor. And I think they would be equally capable of doing whatever I'm suggesting. The only thing is, I don't know if they do pole barns, but that isn't, that's up to them. If they want this structure, I'll tell you right now, a shed with a wood floor is not going to last as long. If money is the reason, which I suspect it is, pole barn costs very little more than what they. It is literally POLE, and it's called that because it's when you see this big, on a farm, and you see a huge horse barn that goes for hundreds of feet. The way they build those is they sink poles in the ground, and then they hang the walls off of the poles.
It's even better. I had to Google it too. A simplified construction style that became popular during the Great Depression when farmers began using old telephone poles to build cost-effective structures.
I will send them their comments and just tell them the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the other issues with that house was the access of the driveway. There was a dormer sticking out on the side of the house, and so they weren't able to extend the driveway on the right side of the house all the way to the back because it would need access of the
Oh, yeah.
neighbors.
I know that house is kind of wide on a narrow lot, so you're questioning whether there's enough clearance in the driveway.
Yeah.
They may not even be using this garage to put a car in it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Although they did say they were going to run a couple of like pavers or bricks,
Right.
like leading up from the existing driveway to the garage, which almost suggests that they'd bring a vehicle up.
Yeah, originally they accessed that backyard through the shared driveway on the other side of the house.
Interesting.
And that now it's got a ranch fence there, so there's no way to
And
access.
Way, and when you look at the picture, I mean, flip side, they could rightly say the roof pitch of this garage, as they proposed it, there's a garage on the next property that has the same low roof pitch.
Right.
That's it. And also there's a bad addition on a house in the backyard that has an almost flat roof. So there's all kinds of stuff around them, But look, if you're doing something from scratch and it doesn't cost much more to do it nice.
Yeah.
Spend a little extra money and do it nice.
I would like to just draw everyone's attention. There is a picture of the old garage as it stood for however many years
Captured
on
courtesy of
Google Street View. And you'll notice the beautiful doors that were once there, and also the correct roof pitch.
Yeah, the former owners did not keep they didn't keep the Right. They didn't keep the screen doors, that they said they would keep.
Oh, wait a minute, is that their garage or was that their?
No, that's the garage. That's the house.
Oh.
Oops.
Okay.
And I was pretty sure there was some kind of ordinance in place that said if you tore down a garage, you were not allowed to rebuild another garage.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd have
No,
to,
it's if you can't rebuild it if it's non-conforming. You have to build it conforming.
okay, so it's got to be conforming to, okay, so that means conforming to our new guidelines.
To the zoning order,
Also zoning setbacks.
yes.
But since it's in the historic district, also to the,
It had like bulk
Yeah.
standards, so it has to meet the setbacks and the height. Not really the design, but the setbacks and the height.
okay.
So do we want to draw their attention to how, well, I imagine they know how it looks. I think the house was sold with the garage shown, or you don't know? Or did the
I don't
renovators,
think that there was a garage when
when they bought
the
it?
survey,
Never seen that
yeah.
picture.
Yeah, they may have never seen how it originally looked. Maybe we can just draw their attention to it. And that's on the Google Street View. Yeah, sometimes you can.
I like the carriage walls. That probably wasn't even the original. I don't, maybe it was the original barn. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's
the
from
door-
October 21.
What's that?
I'll reach out.
Okay, thank you. Any other matters?
On this topic, we're saying these homeowners probably weren't aware of the design of the previous garage, or were they the ones who demoed that existing?
No, it's new homeowners.
Okay.
I know this house was, it was recently
Sold,
sold
okay.
after it was.
Mhm.
Needed redone. They picked it up and
So-
sold it for a nice price.
My question just was, if new documentation comes to light that they were not aware of, are they obligated to respect this, the pre-existing structure? Or is it kind of none of their business because they didn't own the property when it was demolished?
I think we're making, speaking for myself, I think we're making reference to the pre-existing
Yeah.
structure just to show it has a lot of the elements
Sure,
that I was describing. It has
Sure.
a steeper roof pitch.
sure.
Now, it has garage doors that were typical of garages built
Carriage. door, yeah,
7,500 years
yeah.
ago.
Great, yeah.
Certainly no requirement to do that
Mhm.
now.
Right.
They may, yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
We would just be making an appeal to them in good faith that
Yeah.
here's what it used to be. I see.
the fact that they bought the house
Mhm.
means they obviously have an appreciation
Sure,
for the architecture.
for sure.
So I think I expect they would be welcome to ideas that, don't cost a lot more to
Right.
get, something that's better looking than what they've been presented. with.
Definitely.
They could have just gone around looking and found this and gone to this vendor and said, okay, what can you do? And this is what the vendor presented. This is our product.
Hmm.
And just said, okay, fine, we'll do that
Yeah.
without looking at alternatives.
Right. Yeah, it's quick and easy, but a piece of new construction of that size could be done in an affordable way. Definitely.
Any other business to discuss?
Question about historic plaques. Does that come under our jurisdiction if we're looking for a plaque for someone who was born or lived here?
We would have to pay for it.
Right, but the idea of getting permission to put it up.
I guess it's the property owner. So where would you like to put it up? If it's on public land, it's council. If it's on a property owner's land, you gotta get,
In particular, I know somebody who's been looking up, there's a couple. Well-known photographers.
You heard them before?
Yeah, doing
Yeah.
a couple of well-known photographers who either were born here or Diane Arbus, for one, she lived here during World War II. She's a very well-known. Yeah, her husband he got a job at Fort Monmouth during World War II, and that's where she actually learned how to take photos. And I kind of feel like we should have something. Yeah, you never know. My daughter's a photographer. Yeah, so I didn't know whether we were the right place to go. A couple people asked me about this, and I said,
if they want to put it up on their own property, they can. Like, if they want to buy their own plaque and put it up on their own property, they can. But if it's public land, that has to go through council.
okay, so there's nothing that the town of Red Bank would be doing to honor people. Maybe the River Center would be the ones that could do that too. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. So if it is,
So you're looking for funding for it.
I'm looking for information on where to go to find out information. I'm the first person they ask.
I think if it's like funding related, then
Mhm.
we have to probably find funding for it. But if for the plaques itself, but if it's permission to put it on a property, we just have to know who owns it
Got it. Okay,
and who's going to pay for it.
right. There is something we got information about.
Right, so I did apply to the Historic Trust for historic grants, a historic grant for plaques. But that's related to the downtown as
Mhm.
part of like a historic tour and yeah, as part of a historic tour in the commercial district.
Okay,
Sean, I just had one other question about the 65 Wall. It says Wallace on here. I just noticed, but I guess that's a mistake on the drawing. Yeah, it says Washington on the one side and Wallace on the other.
I think maybe, like I said, it's not drawn to scale
Yeah.
and her, whoever it is, I think they probably did like a AI generation of it.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
Yeah, so-
this means that Wallace is in the back and Washington is in the front, like that's why I really hate people using AI.
that's interesting. So, but the fire pit and those pavers, and that's not for our
That's the back of,
consideration.
no, because you can't see it. This is the back of the house. This is the house.
Nothing at the scale.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't need any of that, but I was just curious when I saw it. I was like, oh, we supposed
So
to?
she kind of did it for the zoning portion of it, so I can see it as a zoning officer.
Oh.
But yeah, this is why I really hate when people think that they're trying to be smart
Yeah.
by doing
Is
an
that
AI
the,
rendering, and it's not really, because this would all look like it's side yard setback,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's
I
like
saw that.
rear yard
That's what I was
setback, so
talking
it'd
about.
be rear yard here. The lines for rear yard should have been here.
Right.
But if you type in something, this is what it's gonna give you.
and is
it
that
is.
a gas fireplace? Do you need what is the rule about those fire pits?
There isn't a rule. It's all pavers. It's permitted because it's all impervious, but because they're all putting up pavers.
And is that gas or is that wood?
I don't know, and that's really for the construction official
Oh.
if they're running any lines to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that driveway is 10 feet wide. I don't think there's.
That's
room.
what-
I'll bet you the 10 feet is
It's weird, 10 feet.
ignoring the bay window.
Yeah,
Right,
because the bay window's up here.
yeah.
If the house
Wait,
is here,
by the
the
way.
bay window's there.
No, no, the house.
Yeah, the house is,
The house is barely shown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not at all to scale.
yeah, so again, that's why I hate when people present these things, because it's not a
I
true
found
and
this to
accurate.
be used.
Yeah.
The more you stare at it, the more you can make sense.
Terrible.
All right.
So yeah, that's,
It makes, no, Makes you go, oh, is the garage 1.5 stories high?
Yeah,
It is not.
it is not. It is not.
No.
Unfortunately, when we have this type of technology, people
It's
think
fine.
like it's
If it's bad, it just means more people will have jobs. It's okay.
That-
True.
but
That is
keep
true.
Criticizing this stuff. I mean, there are actually programs here, you can actually make legitimate math of something like this, is putting in the AI.
Yeah, rendering.
Yeah. Stuff, yeah, the AI stuff, and that, yeah.
I was wondering if we could
I
talk
think
about
so.
one thing. I had an idea where I don't think there's anywhere on our website that allows for someone to apply to become a designated property. Like say own a house and I would like to,
Yeah.
I would like to have it designated.
They
Can,
would have-
oh, we
they would
do?
have to reach out to my department because again, if you go through the ordinance, it says that you first have to make a presentation to the commission, then to the planning board, and then it will be on council. So
okay.
either way, you'd have to come here first. So you'd have to contact my office.
Does it say, it says it on the Historic Preservation Commission
I can
page?
make it clear
Okay.
that that's how you can designate your own a property. So yeah.
Okay.
As a local historic site, yes.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
How's the weather?
Do I have a second?
Second. Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Or adjourn.
God, that
Thank
made
you.
it look like